Welcome back to Talking Elvis. Last month we looked at the classic Elvis single Suspicious Minds. I thought we could do another one today, and what better than Don't Be Cruel. I really do believe that not only as an Elvis fan, but also somebody who worked as a disc jockey for about 25 years, Don't Be Cruel is one of the best pop songs of all time. It's up there with things like Be My Baby from the Ronettes. And when Elvis recorded it, it was probably the most pop song that he had ever done. The beauty of the song is not only in the simplicity of the song, but also the perfection of it. Elvis was booked to record Any Way You Want Me and Hound Dog on the 2nd of July 1956 at RCA Studios in New York. He had been performing Hound Dog live for quite some time, and in fact on the 1st of July, just the night before, he performed it on the Steve Allen Show. Elvis had not been convinced about recording it at a session to go out on record. It was very much a live song, part of his live repertoire at the time. Hound Dog and Don't Be Cruel were released as a double A-sided single. The frenetic Hound Dog on one side and the pop Don't Be Cruel on the other. It was a perfect combination for different radio stations to play their preferred side. As a result, Elvis found himself at number one in not only the Billboard, the R&B charts, but also in the country chart. It became not only one of Elvis's biggest selling singles, it was also one of the biggest hits of the 1950s. It stayed at number one in the Billboard chart for 11 weeks. That really was unheard of at the time, as were gold records. You know, artists never really sold that amount of music. By the end of 1956, the song had sold 6 million copies alone in the US and firmly cemented Elvis as the king of rock and roll, if you will. The story of the song, the recording session, the songwriter credits, they are an interesting story in themselves. Don't Be Cruel was written by Otis Blackwell. Blackwell was born in 1931 in Brooklyn, New York. He was influenced by gospel, rhythm and blues, and early rock and roll. His demo of Don't Be Cruel sounds suspiciously like Elvis, and I do not think that is a coincidence.
Maybe if I made you mad for something I might have said, please let's forget the past. The future looks bright ahead. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of.
Elvis was having major success and was clearly on Blackwell's radar. He would go on to write All Shook Up and Return to Sender as well. These all combined some of Elvis's biggest hits, and amazingly, Otis Blackwell and Elvis never met. Otis Blackwell was 4 years older than Elvis, and he passed away in May 2002. Don't Be Cruel also marked an important part of Elvis's career. It was the first song given to him by Hill and Range. The song was brought to the recording session by Freddie Beanstalk, a key figure at Hill and Range. Hill and Range handled the publishing companies Gladys Music and Elvis Presley Music, which controlled much of Elvis's catalogue. Not only did Blackwell give up the publishing, he also gave up 50% of the songwriter credits. I don't know if that was for a quick financial gain or he really just wanted to get on Elvis's radar and have Elvis record one of his songs. But to split the songwriting royalties. Must have been a decision not to be taken lightly. I'm quite sure singer-songwriters are protected more these days, but it wasn't uncommon in the 1950s and 1960s for songwriters to be pressured into giving up royalties and security. Despite its success, I don't think it set Blackwell up for life. I understand that he made about $25,000 from the initial sales. Don't Be Cruel was recorded on the 2nd of July 1956 at RCA Studio in New York. Elvis, Scotty Moore, DJ Fontana and Bill Black. Backing vocals from the Jordanaires. I have never really heard an explanation as to why this happened and why he chose to do it, but Scotty Moore does something very interesting.
Electric guitar on Don't Be Cruel is tuned down to drop D tuning.
He takes the E string on the guitar and drops it down to a D.
That's all. And then the chord on the end.
It gave it a deeper sound, and the intro is just so unique. Another key ingredient is Bill Black's stand-up bass, although it's very subtle. His technique was to pull the string and let it snap against the fretboard. Elvis himself adds his own percussion by flipping his guitar over, and with the leather case he would tap on the back. I think that is genius. It took 28 takes to get it down. I think take 3 and take 5 were complete, but we don't have them. We don't have early takes of Don't Be Cruel, unfortunately. It'd be great to hear take 1 and see how it evolved. Between the 28 takes of Don't Be Cruel and 31 takes of Hound Dog, this really was the first session of Elvis really taking full control. By take 10, Steve Sholes thought they had got it down, but Elvis kept insisting on doing more and more takes and then playing them all back over. Steve Sholes pulling his hair out. We have some pictures of Elvis listening to the playbacks. He chooses take number 28. Elvis would say that it was his favourite recording of all the songs he had recorded. That changed after It's Now or Never. He changed his mind after that, but all the 50s interviews when he's asked, he's always saying, Don't Be Cruel. He must have been really satisfied with it. It is an incredible 2 minutes and 2 seconds of music. We see him listening to it on the train back to Memphis the next day, and here he is playing it to Barbara Hearn at Audubon Drive. I think it's safe to say Elvis was proud of the recording. He would sing it up until June 1977, albeit a much shorter version and as part of a medley. By the end of August 1956, it had sold 1 million copies. By the end of the year, it had sold 5 million copies. And if you've been to Graceland, you'll have seen this special award given to him by RCA of 5 gold records all on top of each other. I'm very sure that had never happened before in the recording industry. The RIAA didn't start until 1958. We don't know exactly how many copies Elvis did sell, but it is generally accepted that about 6 million copies in the US alone. The song is in the Grammy Hall of Fame. Which other artist could have a number 1 across all different charts? For me, Elvis comes over supremely confident on this song. You know, when he's doing things like, I mean, who does things like that? Perhaps the best version he ever did was in January 1957 on the Ed Sullivan Show. If you've heard the $1 Million Quartet, from December 1956. Elvis talks about going to see Freddie Bell and the Bell Boys, is that who it was, in Vegas, and they sang Don't Be Cruel. This was after Elvis had it out. But Elvis just loved the way that sang it and said, you know, telephone, just as Elvis does on the Ed Sullivan Show. There's a nice little snippet of Elvis playing the piano and singing the song at the $1 Million Quartet session, and it's much slower version. So we've got Suspicious Minds, and now we have Don't Be Cruel, which we can put into the Best Elvis Song category playlist, which I'm going to create here. Which song would you like me to take a look at?
You know I can be found sitting home all alone. If you can't come around, at least please telephone. Well, baby, if I made you mad for something I might have said, please don't forget my past. The future looks right ahead. Don't be cruel. Don't make me feel this way. Come on over here and love me. You know what I want you to say. Don't be cruel. Why should we be apart? I really love you, baby. Cross my heart. Well, let's walk up to the preacher and let's say I do. Then you know you'll have me, and I know I'll have you too. Don't be cruel.